my channel, Damaris here. So today guys, I bring to you my makeup look, and I wanted to share with you guys what I use for my face and how I accomplish a longer lasting makeup application. It just lasts a lot longer, especially for us girls who have extremely oily skin. My whole face is not oily, but my forehead, my nose, and my chin, which is my T-zone, is what gets oily the most and the fastest. My cheeks, for the most part, are usually either normal to dry. So in this video, I will be showing you exactly what I use, how I apply it, and giving you a couple tips on what you can do and what not to do when dealing with oily skin. So if you guys are interested and you think this is going to be helpful to you, just stay where you're at and continue to watch. All right guys, so first you want to make sure that your face is washed, it is cleaned. I washed my face this morning. I did moisturize. Now I'm going to go in with this Rimmel and it's called Fix and Perfect Pro Primer, and this one is in 002 5-in-1 Results. So you want to make sure you prime your skin. Next guys, you want to make sure that if your skin is oily like mine, you want to make sure that you use a smudge proof, waterproof eyebrow product, something that's not going to budge off your face if you do tend to get oily in certain areas. So I always go in with my Anastasia brow pomade, and this one is in the shade Ebony, and as you can see, mine is almost empty, and we're gonna go ahead and fill in our brows. I'm going to go in and clean my brows using a flat brush and my Photo Focus concealer by Wet n Wild, and I just literally put a little bit on the back of my hand and put the brush in there and basically clean up underneath my like that guys. Now let's go on to the eyes. My eyes necessarily aren't oily at all, so I'm gonna go ahead and go in with this MAC paint pot, and this one is in the shade Vintage Selection, and it's a beautiful shimmery shade, very neutral shade. And I'm going to take that with a flat concealer brush from Soho, New York. I'm just going to take that and I'm going to pat this on my entire lid. So now going in with my eyes, I'm going to put this baby into use. I haven't really used this one either. So I'm going to go in and I'm not going to do anything nothing too exaggerated, if I can say. So we're just going to go in with my Morphe M433 brush, and I'm just going to pick up a nice nude shade. I'm actually going to pick up this shade here called Maple, and I'm going to just pat my brush in there, tap off the excess. That's what I'm putting on the brush, and I'm going to just pat that in place here. Just patting it first. I will go in and blend it. I just want to pack it on first because I feel like if you brush first, it does remove the product. You're brushing it away as you're blending it in. So I like to pack some on first and then go in and blend. And then you can always go back in and apply more, you know, wherever you feel like you need more. I'm also going to pat that on the outer corner of my eye. It is going to overlap the MAC paint pot, but it's okay. So we're going to overlap. Now I'm going to start blending it in with the same brush. Just blending it in slightly. This is a smaller blending brush, so it works very well. It's not going to take the color too high. you can get smaller brushes to focus right there on the crease. So guys, that's what that looks like so far. Now going into this one, I'm gonna go do the same thing, just blend the color into my crease, back and forth motion. You can pat as well to get the color dispersed a little bit better, and just blending very softly. You don't want to be rough with the brush because you're going to be tugging on your eyelids, so just very softly. And again, packing some of this color on my outer corner of my lid. Now I'm going to go in with a little darker shade. I know I said I wasn't going to be like so bold today, but I feel like with just smoking that out a little bit, it already made it look like bam. So I'm going to go in with a darker shade here, and this is called Bark, and it's a darker brown, and I'm going to put this on my outer corner as well because I want this corner to be a little darker. This always happens. I say I'm going to do a somewhat natural look, even though it's still natural, but I kind of like smoked it out a little more than what I wanted to, but it's okay. We're going to rock it this way. I'm going to work anyway, so, and again, packing more on this side and into my crease. And I'm loving the look so far. Now I'm going to go in with a fluffier brush. This one is a Sigma E40, and I'm just going to blend where those two colors meet and just make sure that everything is nice and diffused and nothing looks too harsh. I'm going to go in with Maple again, which is the lighter shade that I use. Tap off the excess and just blend there again and bring that lighter shade in. And you can actually bring that lighter shade up a little bit into the brow bone area. And with this mascara, and this one is Something Lasting. It's rubbing off, but it's Something Lasting by Revlon. Moving on, guys, my face. Now remember, I have extremely oily skin, so just a tip: if you have oily skin, you don't want to use these to put on your face. Why? Because your fingers are oily. So either you use a sponge, you can use a brush to apply your foundation. I'm going to be using the Simply Ageless CoverGirl and Olay foundation. I've been loving this foundation. I actually need another one because I'm almost done. So I'm going to take this, and I'm going to take my Real Techniques. I want to say this is a buffing brush, an expert face brush, and I'm going to swirl this in my foundation, and I'm going to start packing it on my face. I'm not going to brush it on my face. I'm going to basically stipple it on. You see, it kind of looks a little white for my complexion, but I promise once I blend everything out, it's going to look amazing. And also, I've been loving this foundation because it doesn't, I feel like it doesn't sit directly on my skin, if that makes sense. I feel like the foundation settles into my skin, and it doesn't, like, I went all day yesterday without feeling like I had a bunch of makeup on. Sometimes when I wear certain foundation, it makes it feel really heavy, and this one does not make me feel that way, so I am loving it. Also, I haven't had to spot conceal or color correct because this is a full coverage, and it leaves you looking somewhat natural once you're done. So as you can tell, I don't have to put any extra concealer underneath my eyes because this is doing exactly what my concealer does. Now, of course, if you want the brighter look underneath your eyes, you want that whole highlight contour type of look, then yes, you might want to apply a concealer or whatever it is that you use. Now under here, you see I'm rubbing it in because I want to blend underneath of my chin and make sure that it's blended very well. Now on the camera, I look like a ghost, but in my mirror, I do not look like that. But now my forehead, I am patting, and you see in some areas I do brush away, and that's basically around my hairline, my edges. I do brush away. So yeah, basically I pat it on my entire face. Then guys, I'm going to go in with my beauty sponge, and I'm going to basically pat all over my face where I applied all of this product, because this is going to give me even more of a natural look. And this is going to pick up any product that's on my face, any excess product, let's say. And we're just going to keep patting, patting, patting. Okay, guys. Now, my next step is to add a little color to my face. Now, if you have oily skin, I recommend that you don't do this. If you have extremely oily skin, my issue is usually my forehead, my nose, and my chin. That's where I get oily at. But I don't have oily like cheeks or anything, so I like to add a little color using my LA Girl Pro Conceal, and I basically just make a line on the hollows of my cheek. You see I have that natural hollow already, but I like to add a little color. I like to just make a line on my cheekbones, or underneath of my cheekbones, and not necessarily a contour, because we're not going to make it that sharp, and we're basically just doing it for color. Then I'll go in with this sponge, and I'm going to place this edge here exactly where I placed that line, and just dab it on my face. I do not drag the color down. As you can see, I am just patting it in place and blending it out, bringing it up. Okay, then I'll switch to this point here, and I'll just drag it down on that line and just flicker it up, because sometimes when you have it flat, you don't necessarily get the product all blended out in that area. So that's how that looks. And now let's do this side. Same thing with the flat side. I'm just patting it onto my face and bringing it up into my temples, not dragging it down, because you don't want that muddy type look. So just patting it, bringing it up, and I do bring it a little bit up onto my cheekbones just to warm up my cheekbones as well, just a little bit. And then just that. Now if you want to clean up underneath of that line, you can go in with your foundation brush and just clean up like that, and then you can go over top of it and blend it in if you like. Even to soften up that line, you can use the same foundation brush and pack over top of it just to make it look good. And again, just patting over top of that. Okay, notice that warmed up my face a little bit. Now I'm going to go in with a bronzer brush, and I like to use my Sigma large powder brush, and I'll go in with my Sunny bronzer, the NYC Sunny bronzer, and I'll warm up the perimeters of my face, basically my hairline. Basically the whole outer portion of my face is what I warm up. Then I'll go in to where I put that that concealer, and I'll place some bronzer over top of that just to, again, warm up my face, and that actually helps to set the concealer as well. Now my face looks a little bit more alive, which I like. So now guys, going in with blush, I'm going to just pick a blush that's in my vanity because I didn't grab anything else, but I'm gonna go in with my Peach, Papa Don't Peach, I think it's called, by Too Faced. And I'm going to pick up a little bit and tap off the excess, of course, and just pat it onto my cheeks. Now, again, if you have oily cheeks, I don't recommend a blush like this, because this blush does have a lot of like fine shimmers in it. And if you're going to start looking oily throughout the day, you don't want to add shimmer on there, because you're going to look extremely oily throughout the day. I mean, if you like that dewy, oily type of look, then, you know, by all means, it's your face, put it on. But I definitely don't recommend, if you have oily skin, extremely oily skin, to keep piling up any type of shimmer and glow and any type of that stuff. So that is done, guys. Now I'm going to set my face, and I'm just going to use a blotting powder by MAC, and this one is medium to dark. And I'm going to pick up the same brush I used to bronze, and I'm going to basically swirl this in here. And this is a blotting powder, guys, but I like to use it to set my makeup sometimes. So I'm just basically patting that on my face, all over. These are all steps that I do to avoid my skin getting really oily through the day. Especially my nose and my chin, I get really oily. So yeah, you're just going to pat all that on. I'm going to go in with my Morphe M433 brush that I used earlier. And I'm going to pick up the shade Maple, again, this light brown here. And I'm basically going to add some color underneath of my eyes. Then I'm going to go in with the shade Snow, which is this beautiful white shade here. And we're going to pick it up with that same brush and tap it off. And I'm going to place it here in my inner corner, just to brighten up my eyes a bit. Okay, like so. Then I'm going to go ahead and apply some mascara at the lower portion of my eyes. And then we'll be back to do the lips. Guys, now for the lips, I'm going to go in with this Wet n Wild gel pencil. And this one is called Think Flamingos. It's like a nudie pink shade. And then we're going to go in with a Revlon matte lipstick. And this one is 013 Smoked Peach. Alright guys, now we're going to set our face. Now this is another tip that will work when you want your foundation to last a little longer. I like to use the cucumber water, and this is a hydrating, soothing face or body mist. And I do always buy these at Marshall's for, this one was $6.99. And I love these facial sprays to hydrate your face, to basically give you like a refreshing feeling to your face. So yeah, I just take this and I mist it all over my face. Go in with a little bit of highlight, and this one that I'm using is J-Cat Beauty, and this one is called Twilight, and I am using a Morphe E61 brush. Alright guys, and this is my finished look. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I hope that it's helpful for you guys who have oily skin. At least you can see the products that I used for my face, because again, I say I have an extremely oily T-zone, so foundation usually doesn't last all day without it coming through my nose. It comes right through my foundation after a couple hours. But I also do recommend, guys, if you have that problem, you'll want to keep either a facial sponge in your bag. Excuse me. You'll either want to keep a facial sponge in your bag, or you'll want to keep blotting sheets as well. Elf does sell them, very affordable. I think Clean and Clear has them. Ulta carries them. There's a lot of places that have the blotting sheets. It's just a really thin piece of sheet of paper, and you basically place it on your area, and it removes all the oil off your face. And then you can always go in with For an example, you can go in with like a blotting powder like this and a brush and lightly tap it onto your oily areas to absorb some of that oil. So I really hope that this was helpful for you guys with the same problem that I have. Hopefully these products can help you as well. So I'm so grateful that you guys stopped by again to watch my channel. I love you guys and see you in the next one. God bless.